What's good people, and welcome back to my channel here on Crewboy Productions. My name is BK, and this is the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy Podcast, episode 91. Is Netflix acquiring Warner Brothers? That is what I'll be getting into today. What's going on, everyone? I hope everybody is doing very well, and I am glad to be back doing another episode for you, another video for you, as I will be discussing this piece of news that involves the entertainment industry, that involves movies, TV shows, streamers. So this is about Netflix and Warner Brothers, Hbomax, DC. Netflix has entered into exclusive negotiations to purchase Warner Brothers. And this information that I'll be discussing today, it comes from the entertainment outlet Variety via the writer Todd Spangler. And I will link that article in the description. Of course, this news is everywhere. And this news broke late Thursday night, December 4th, 2025. And what this means is Netflix has paid the amount of $82.7 billion to have the exclusive rights to negotiate with Warner Brothers to purchase it. Now, I'm not going to get too much into the details of this preliminary deal, but some things I'll say about it. One, they have 12 to 18 months to complete this deal, and that 12 to 18 months time frame puts that at the middle of June 2027. Now, if for whatever reason this deal does not get completed and finalized and filed and recorded, then Netflix will have to pay Warner Brothers $5.8 billion to Warner Brothers if this deal does not get finalized. So one thing I want to mention right away, and also just generally speaking, whenever companies come together via a purchase, a merger, venture, some formulation of companies coming together like it's looking like it's going to happen with Netflix and Warner Brothers, one of the things I think about is the employees and how they are going to be potentially impacted. Of course, nothing's happening today. It's still early. Things still have to get done. But there's going to be a level of impact to the employees at all the different divisions at Warner Brothers and at Netflix. There's plenty of time that they have to make moves. I'm sure there'll be new jobs created, jobs will be consolidated, so things will be changing structurally, internally at both organizations. So we'll see how that goes, but that's one thing I always think about and I understand in terms of being impacted when it comes to that. Now, another thing I want to get into is the streaming part of this. Now, in this article, there's a few things that's in there, and again, I'll link the article in the description. In terms of films releasing in theaters theatrically, that will continue to happen, and Warner Brothers has a deal of having movies released in theaters through 2029. And so they'll still continue to have the movies come out in theaters because there's nothing like being in the theater to see a movie. Now, also in this is about the streaming part of it. HBO will continue to have their own separate service because HBO is a good brand. It is a quality brand that make quality projects over the years. And so that will continue to happen. But eventually you will start to see some of the HBO projects, shows, DC come on to Netflix, like a Friends, like a Big Bang Theory. You'll start to eventually see those shows on Netflix, and possibly the DC stuff as well. One of the things I was wanted to mention is James Gunn, as he's building this DCU out with the films. I would say one of the things that we'll probably eventually see is the shows that he's working on. They will probably, possibly, eventually come on to Netflix. Perhaps season 3 of Peacemaker will eventually make its way to Netflix. The Mascara show about the Amazon, and other future shows that will eventually come on to Netflix. I'm sure there's going to be some type of bundle where you can get one or both of them as well. Some UI changes in terms of the pricings tiers. They're going to most likely increase for both or one of them. We'll see how they'll figure out the streaming part of this, because the HBO brand is big, as well as all the DC stuff that they have on there, and it's going to make Netflix even a more bigger streaming giant than they already are. And we'll see how this affects creatives. And then also, in terms of things that are in the early development phase, conceptual phase, perhaps those projects have a rough draft of a future release date of late 2027. The only thing I can see happening with that is probably when it gets time to get to production and then the marketing and release, maybe that will be adjusted to have some combination of Netflix and Warner Brothers marketing coming out for those movies that are slated to come out in 2027, but we'll see how that goes. There's still a lot of things that have to happen in terms of this deal happening and finalizing. And one of the things that's kind of making it more tangible is I am a Netflix subscriber, and many people, probably you guys, have received an email from Netflix late Friday night, right before 12:29 a.m. I received an email from Netflix discussing this deal, saying, hey, we've made this announcement. You'll see these shows eventually come on. Nothing changes today. Keep a lookout. We'll make more announcements in the future. So that's just a little bit more tangible proof that this deal is in the works. It is happening. But again, everything has to be finalized and filed. So we'll see how this goes. But this is big news in the same sense when Disney acquired and got the 20th Century Fox properties, particularly when Marvel within Disney got their X-Men characters back, the Fantastic Four, and all the different 20th Century Fox. And now we see that Disney Plus library has been expanded because of the 20th Century Fox properties that they now have. So the same thing will happen with Netflix once this deal is finalized, provided nothing happens there. But this is what I wanted to talk about today. So nothing happens today, but we'll see what happens in the future if you have Netflix and HBO Max. And that's all for that topic. I hope I was able to provide you with value on that. Hope you learned something. Maybe you knew about this, maybe you didn't know about it, but now you do. And if you like those sort of things, consider subscribing to this channel here, as I do film reviews, spoiler reviews, particularly weaving in the production details and the people behind the camera, as well as their previous projects, their movies and shows that we all have seen. I highlight them and notice the details and the story beats as well, and how things were made. I also talk about Broadway shows as I see those Broadway shows live and in person. I get into the details of that from the stage level. I also do a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs. I talk about those as well, older Blu-rays, current Blu-rays, and the production, featurettes, and how things were done. So I talk about those type of things. If you like those, subscribe to the channel here, and also my second channel, Crewboy Productions presents Nerdy Notes, where I am continuing to put on all of these shorts from this channel onto that channel. So subscribe to that channel as well. And then the full episodes I have on the podcast, you can search there on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, And anywhere you get your podcast, just search for the Silly, Nerdy, and Wordy podcast. And thanks for everyone that is listening, that is watching here in the US and all of the different countries and on Spotify and different platforms, Pandora as well. Thank you very much. And then also I have my shorts on TikTok. You can follow me at Nerdy Podcaster 124 as the shorts are there as well. Follow me there for the shorts. And that is going to be all. I hope all of you have a good rest of your day. Sending you good vibes as well. And until next time, we will talk soon.